Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is April 24th, 2025, and Pau Victor is set to meet with Barcelona and his agent in order to discuss his future. Also, Lenglet has communicated to Barcelona that he wants to stay in Atletico Madrid. And finally, Jorge Mendes, the super agent, has met with Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with some interesting news because, ladies and gentlemen, Inter Milan's coach Simone Inzaghi has revealed that Inter Milan are worried. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this defeat that just happened in the Coppa Italia, or the Italian Cup, where AC Milan defeated Inter Milan 0-3, knocking them out of the competition, and with AC Milan moving to the finals of the Coppa Italia, which of course ends the hopes of Inter Milan of winning a treble, because the cup is one of the trophies needed for the treble, which they're not going to be able to win now that they have been knocked out. And after the match, Inter Milan's coach Simone Inzaghi revealed that he is worried about Inter Milan's state and that the players are both physically and mentally exhausted. And this is what Inzaghi had to say. Of course, I'm worried. We're not used to losing 2 in a row. We need to analyze both defeats the right way. We didn't deserve to lose in Bologna, and tonight we ran out of energy in the second half. We have to keep going. There's both physical and mental fatigue. We need to be stronger than all of that. This journey has brought us a lot of joy, but also some disappointments, like tonight. We should have done better. We lacked sharpness in both boxes at key moments of the game. Talking about tiredness, can't be an excuse. We need to show maximum focus in the penalty areas, and tonight we didn't. Every team is dealing with fatigue. It's April 24th. There's 1 month left, and we have to keep going with confidence. Tonight, Milan deserved it. And it's only right that they're going to the final. We'll try to bounce back and give it our all on Sunday against Roma. So very interesting developments in Italy, with Inter Milan being knocked out at the hands of AC Milan, who, in my opinion, this season are much, much more inferior to Inter Milan. And of course, these statements of Inzaghi saying that he's worried and that his players are both mentally and physically fatigued. And this comes only a few days before their match against Roma, where they're not going to be able to heavily rotate because Inter Milan are tied on points in the Serie A. So they need to win every match from here until the end of the season. It's not like they're comfortable. They have a comfortable lead and they can just rotate players and who cares about the result. No, they are going to have to fight it out with Roma. And a few days after that, they're going to have to face off against Barcelona. And with these statements, I think Barcelona need to be fully focused because they have a good shot here, knowing what's going on with Inter Milan. Of course, that doesn't mean it's going to be an easy match. Inter Milan is still a very, very, very formidable opponent. But nonetheless, I think these statements could be, or should be at least, huge motivation for our players. Because if you see this, that means there's blood in the water. And if there's blood in the water, it's time to make a kill. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, La Liga decided to appeal the CSD's decision to allow both Pau Victor and Dani Olmo to be registered until the end of the season. While the appeal is being played out, La Liga applied for a precautionary measure to ban Pau Victor and Dani Olmo from playing until the appeal is decided. Of course, the court said, no way. And that was rejected. But nonetheless, the appeal is still going through the court system. And today the appeal was forwarded to a superior court where it's going to decide the case, where, of course, it's expected that La Liga once again will lose this because, let's be honest, there is no legal argument here. La Liga is just embarrassing itself. But, hey, whatever. If they want to take it all the way, take it all the way. At the end of the day, by the time the appeal is decided, the season will probably be over anyway. So it's not even going to matter. But speaking of Pau Victor, we do have news because the Barcelona player who came on loan last season from Girona to Barca Athletic, where he absolutely killed it, was the top goal scorer for Barca Athletic. That eventually convinced Barcelona to sign him during the season. He did really well in the preseason, but since then he has been struggling to get minutes. And it's reported that Pau Victor is set to meet with his agent and Deco during the summer, or at least towards the end of the season, which is right around the corner, to try to see what his role will be next season. Now, Pau Victor wants to stay in Barcelona. He's a culé at heart. Since he was a kid, he tried to get into the Barcelona academy. I think he tried out twice. It didn't work. So he ended up going to another academy, and then he came back as a loanee. Now he come back as a permanent transfer. So he loves Barcelona. It's his dream to play for Barcelona. He wants to remain in Barcelona. But of course, he still has to think about his career, and he cannot stay here forever if he's not going to be getting minutes. So it's reported that he's going to meet with Deco and his agent to see what's going to happen next season, what his role will be. And depending on that meeting, Pau Victor will decide whether he stays at Barcelona or whether he will try to look for another destination, which, by the way, there are plenty of clubs interested in him. We'll see what happens. I really hope Pau Victor stays, but of course, he does have to think about his career. After all, a footballer's career is pretty short. Now, on to the next bit of news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Clement Lenglet has notified Barcelona that he wants to remain at Atletico de Madrid. Now, Clement Lenglet played his last full season for Barcelona in the 2021-2022 season. After that, he had 2 loan stints, one at Tottenham Hotspur and one at Aston Villa, which both failed miserably. This past summer, he went on his 3rd loan stint to Atletico Madrid, where he has finally found a place in a starting 11, impressing El Cholo Simeone and carving a spot for him in Cholo Simeone's defensive line. And it's reported that Cholo Simeone is very happy with Clement Lenglet. He wants Atletico Madrid to keep him on a permanent transfer. And now the player has also agreed, informing Barcelona that he too wants to remain at the Madrid-based club. Now, what's the problem? The problem is, of course, that Barcelona want 10 million euros for Clement Lenglet, because there is no option or obligation to buy in this loan. So for Atletico Madrid to sign Clement Lenglet, they are going to have to negotiate with Barcelona. Barcelona want 10 million euros, but of course Atletico Madrid are trying to either get him for free or just paying some very, very nominal amount, which of course Barcelona are not going to agree to. But the problem is Barcelona also have to think about the huge salary that Lenglet has. So it's not like, okay, you either pay us 10 million or we take him back and screw you. No, because we take him back, now we're stuck with this huge salary that we cannot afford, thanks to Bartomeu. And of course, Atletico Madrid know that, so they're going to be banking on that, probably wasting time until the final moments of the market, hoping that Barcelona cave. I really hope Barcelona doesn't cave. And by the way, this could also be another strategy from Atletico Madrid, because here Lenglet is saying, hey, I want to stay here. In other words, do not negotiate with other clubs, which that, of course, takes power away from Barcelona, because Barcelona cannot go to Atletico and be like, pay me the 10 million. I have these other 3 clubs who are also interested, because guess what? It doesn't matter. The player doesn't want to go there. Anyways, we'll see how this all ends up. I just hope that Atletico Madrid don't take us for fools again. They already did it with Suarez, Griezmann, Villa. I think enough is enough. Barcelona need to put their foot down and be strong-willed with Atletico de Madrid. Anyways, let's end this video by talking about the super agent Jorge Mendes, because he was in the city of Barcelona, where he discussed 2 players. The first one was Lamine Yamal, where Jorge Mendes, of course, confirmed to and assured Barcelona that Lamine Yamal wants to renew his contract and that he will renew his contract this summer when he turns 18. And the second one was Ansu Fati, where we still don't know what exactly was talked about. But while Jorge Mendes was leaving the Barcelona offices, he was asked about Ansu Fati. His answer was, he's fine, everything is fine. And then the reporters pressed him more about what's going to happen with Ansu, and he said, I don't know yet. Now, this, I think, confirms what I've been telling you on this channel, and it's that Ansu Fati has decided to leave during this summer transfer market. You might say, Mo, what do you mean? How does this confirm anything? All he said was, I don't know yet. Well, it confirms it because for the longest time, every time Jorge Mendes was being asked about Ansu Fati, his answer was always, Ansu Fati's happy here. Of course, he would like to play more, but he's happy. He wants to stay. And now he went from Ansu's happy, he wants to stay, to I don't know what's going to happen. And now, of course, to me at least, is a clear indication that Ansu is leaving this summer, because if he wasn't, Jorge Mendes would have said the same thing that he always says. Ansu's happy, Ansu wants to stay. But he didn't say that. He said, I don't know, which in other words, Ansu is leaving, but Jorge Mendes doesn't want to confirm that he's leaving, but he also cannot lie and say he is staying, right? Because he's not. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video before this one, so make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.